they really want to stay, because you can never force the Glazer family to sell, then they've got to do 4 or 5 things. They've got to stop taking the dividends out of the club, number one, if they want to reset the culture. Because when the owners are pulling money out of the club at the expense of the fans, at the expense of the project, at the expense of a successful team, it's a bad message from the very top. The cultural aspect of that is terrible. Number two, they've got to pay off that debt, and they can do that by selling £500 million worth of shares to the fans, not take it out of the club and pay off that debt. They can then rebuild that stadium with £1 billion, right? And it does need probably knocking down, to be fair. I know there was Andy Mitten spoke this week, who I respect enormously, who said he thought it needed renovated. That doesn't need renovation. That needs a new stadium. And that money can be funded from a 20-year contract by getting a sponsor in at 60, 70 million quid a year. Call it something Old Trafford, but we have a brand new stadium, and again, it resets the culture of Manchester United having the best stadium in the world. That needs to happen. They then need to build a new training ground. Me and Roy were part of the squad when we moved 22 years ago out of the Cliff, and we were devastated to leave the Cliff. But we now got a training ground that's behind Tottenham and the other training grounds. And they then need to go and put £150 million a year in a proper sporting project, along with those 4 things. And then you can say the Glazer family have reset the culture from the top of giving, of obviously doing something that means something. They've got to do something that resets the culture and the principles of the football club. They've not done that for 10 years. They need to do it now, because the fans are on the edge again. The fans are on the edge again.